Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. My name is Nyana Dyer. I'm here at the London Buddhist Centre main shrine room with Richard on tech. And very warm welcome. Paul's here already, so hi, Paul, and anyone else who's there too. Good. So today's class is called Building a Vital Stillness. So I won't say more about that now, but that's what we'll be doing. Basically, we'll be doing Qigong, really. Okay, so let's start with a warm-up. Feet hip-width apart, knees slightly bent, and just swinging the arms. And just to say, as usual, the trick here is that the hands don't touch, and the hands don't come much above the chest, shoulder area, so as not to put a strain on the heart. I'll do it sideways on. And if you want, you can just raise the toes on the uplift and also extend the fingers a little bit. Just makes it a little bit more vigorous. It's very nice to be here with Richard. I haven't seen him for a while. I was doing Qigong on the beach in Broadstairs on Sunday with guys in my study group, led by Melvin. So Melvin was leading it, and he was basically mimicking me. It was a bit, well, not mimicking me exactly, but it's a bit disconcerting to hear my inanity is muttered back to me. So anyway, that's what you have to deal with, and I had to deal with it. Yeah, great. Hello, Paul again.
Liz from Brighton.
Hi, Liz.
We have Sed again.
Yeah, Sed, nice to have you here.
And we have Therese from Sweden.
Therese from Sweden. Welcome. Oh, great. Thanks, Therese. Who was I talking to about Sweden? I think it was a guy on this weekend, the trip we had to Broadstairs from my study group, and he was saying how beautiful Sweden was, how he'd been on holiday to one of the Swedish archipelagos and spent time building saunas and diving into the ice-cold water. So that sounded pretty idyllic to me. Anyway, welcome from Sweden to Bethnal Green, East London. Not quite so peaceful. Get a lot of fire engines. So many sirens around here. And protesters too. That's true. It's only quite a few. Pretty noisy part of the world. So I'm sort of talking. So I hope I don't disturb your Qigong. In this form of Qigong, you can, it's just fine to chat to your mates or listen to music or even watch telly. The idea is the energy takes care of itself, and just keep the mind out of it as much as possible, not be too willful. All right, Richard's squatting. He's putting me off. Anyway, so I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you had a very enjoyable weekend. I did. As I say, I went to Broadstairs, which was surprising. I don't know if you've been to Broadstairs, but very, very nice Broadstairs. Much nicer than I thought it would be.
Ramsgate.
Oh, yeah. It is, yeah. The Ramsgate, Richard knows. And Margate, I like as well. So.
And with your study group?
Yeah, so I went there with my Mitra study group. Well, not all of them, but
How many?
5 of us. We did Qigong on the beach, facing the sea as it rolled in. It was very nice. We ate ice creams. So we went to, apparently there's a very famous ice cream shop in Broadstairs, which I can't remember the name of that. And we had chips. Some of the guys had fish and chips, but I didn't have fish and chips. I know, I missed fish and chips. I had halloumi burger. Let's go sideways on, just to show you this. And walked along the sea.
Did you swim?
No. No, didn't even cross my mind to swim. I think I could easily have swum. People were swimming there. They look pretty nice. So we do this warm up about 5-10 minutes, just to let you know that if you've not been here before. 10 people, good. And slowly whittling away at the numbers. We'll be down to a single figure soon, Lenny. Yeah, so I hope you're enjoying this. This is Richard's favourite exercise. I quite like it as well. It's just a nice way to help the blood circulate around the body and help the qi circulate. And as far as I've been told, it's been used in hospitals and schools just to promote well-being. So even doing a little bit of this every day. Actually, doing it on Qigong on the beach was, it just did remind me how good it was and what. Actually, sometimes, I don't do it every day, and I know such good things to do every day. Even a few minutes. And Melvin, who led us, he's much more entertaining than I am. Very good. He's very kind of knowledgeable about wildlife and funny. So we'll try and get, next time we have a retreat, I'll try and get Melvin to do a guest appearance as Qigong instructor.
Does he know his Qigong?
Not really, no. He's not so good. I think I know more about Qigong than him, but I'm less entertaining. But I think he can still be put in a guest appearance from maybe from Broadstairs Sands. It's not called that, but Broadstairs Beach.
How long did you do it for? Was it a long?
About half an hour. Not that long, but long enough to feel the benefit of it. In fact, it was a bit of a highlight of the trip, even more so than the ice cream. Well, the ice cream and chips were good in anticipation, but not so good.
Did you do the 5 positions, 6 positions?
We did the brocade, and then we did, I think we just did very brief wood and metal and wuchi.
What are you doing today?
Not sure. So Richard's asked what we're doing today. I'm not sure. Okay, let's just shake out. And hands on the hips. Let's just rotate the hips. I also went to see Pinocchio this weekend with Paola, which I enjoyed actually. It's a new. I don't know. I think it's probably a new. It's an Italian version.
Is it sort of CGI?
What does that mean?
Computer generated 3D.
Yeah, I think so. Richard asked whether it's CGI, and I think it's sort of half sort of real and half. Like Pinocchio himself is sort of a puppet figure, but very, very lifelike. And then others were definitely actors and real actors.
What's it like going to the cinema in lockdown?
Yeah, it was very nice going to the cinema lockdown. It was like a bijou studio with like double seats and tables in front. So quite small, no bigger than this space really. No. And there were just 3 couples in the whole cinema, so just very, very pleasant. Okay, let's go the other way. What did you do, Richard? What was your weekend like?
I've been meditating a lot.
Ah, so Richard's been meditating a lot.
Like 3 or 4 45 minutes
Ah.
a day.
Is that on your own? Ah. How's that been?
It's been good. No bells.
Okay.
By beginning and an end bell, but no
Yeah.
sections.
Okay. But are you ringing the bell yourself?
No, I have a little time.
Okay. So Richard's saying like just 45 minutes sits, bell at the beginning and the end with a timer.
I've been experimenting with jhanas, and I think I made lots of progress.
He's coursing in and out of the jhanas, Richard. Very good. Sounds great. So whilst I'm eating ice creams and chips by the seaside, Richard's in the realms of the gods. Okay, check out. And then let's do the other one up as well. So feet together, hands just with the knees. We'll just rotate the knees.
Also did, it was the journey in the guide.
Oh yeah.
You started last night.
Yeah.
Good.
So you started on the Journey in the Guide course? Yeah. Are you on the team for that? No, not yet. Okay. So yeah, I think is that
Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 to 8.
for how long?
For the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks. Okay, so Monday. You can probably still book on that, I would have thought.
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, Journey in the Guide course you can still book on. Next 4 weeks, Monday and Wednesday.
They were doing that downstairs. They also had Dharma night up here.
Yeah. So Richard, as well as spending most of the weekend in Dhyana, last night did the Journey in the Guide course and then also caught up with the Dharma night as well. Okay, great. Let's go the other way. I'm being thoroughly put to shame here. My techie.
Any studying on the trip to Broadstairs, or was it just a day out?
Richard asked whether we were doing any studying. No. It was a day out. I think it was a day of, the idea was to just bond a little bit. Which I think we did. It was very nice. Okay, good. Let's just shake again. I think that'll do for maybe just. I think that'll do for warm-ups. Okay, so let's go into the Qigong proper. So feet hip width apart. We'll go into Wu Qi. So hands by the sides, space beneath the armpits, arms slightly rounded, and looking ahead. So just. So this is where we're starting to cultivate this sort of vital stillness, like sense of energy and vitality. I definitely felt it on the beach in Broadstairs, even doing a short period of Qigong.
Niwan is just join us.
Niwan.
Niwan.
How do you spell that?
Nirwan.
Okay, hi Niwan. We just done our warm-ups, and we're starting into the Qigong proper. So if you've done the warm-ups before, it might be worth doing a little bit of a warm-up. But otherwise, just move straight into Wu Qi. Did you do any Qigong on the weekend, Richard?
No.
I thought not. Yoga?
I think I did one yoga class.
Okay, bit of yoga. Yeah. Just to say tonight that I'll be talking tonight in the Tuesday class on, last week was how your life affects your meditation. So Stillness gave a very good talk, just 20-minute talk on how life affects your meditation. I recommend you catch up with that if you haven't seen it already. But tonight I'll be talking about how meditation affects your life. So if you're interested in that, yeah, so how life affects your meditation, how meditation affects your life, as part of a series on meditation. So we'll be moving from tonight into some more insight reflections in the following 3 weeks. But tonight will be on why on earth meditate? Does it work?
Do you have an answer?
No. No, I'll be asking everybody else how. Yeah. I don't want to give everything away, so we'll see. Is it Adrian?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Adrian, UK's.
I think I know Adrian. I think Adrian's, when we used to do Qigong class, Adrian would come. If it's the same Adrian. Anyway, hi Adrian. Whether you're the Adrian I think you are, or another Adrian. Nice to have you here. There are a few other films I saw that looked quite interesting. Actually, I don't often go to the cinema, but I could definitely get into going more. I can't remember what they're called. I think one was called something like Pickled, which looked quite entertaining. And then another one was a bit more angsty, but good. So maybe you can start to feel a bit of energy in the hands or the arms or the feet. I can do that. Maybe that's just over time you begin to become more sensitive to it.
What does it feel like?
It feels like a sort of tingling. It feels like a sort of and a coursing, like a coursing of energy and tingling, and it just feels quite alive, actually. Okay, so let's come from Wu Qi. Let's come into metal. So metal is hands facing the chest, like again, fingers slightly parted, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the elbows. This is the lung position. So you want enough space between the hands for another hand to pass through. And again, you want the pelvis to be in neutral position, so not the bum sticking out like that, or your pelvis thrust forward like Rick Mail or someone like that. You want it nicely in the middle. And metal. Rich is taking some photographs at some point. He's sizing me up for photo shoot. Yeah, good. So again, these positions, you can just slowly build up, how long you hold them for. So for a while, you could just keep it very, very simple. Just do warm-ups, Wu Chi, metal, and just build up. Do it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The stories of my teacher kind of leaving his students in metal and just going off. Coming back quite a lot later, smelling of a nice beer that he's had or something. I think those were in the old days. But, sweat dropping down people's brows and so on.
This tingling, is it always quite subtle, or can it be quite intense?
Okay, so Rich is asking whether the tingling can be intense or whether it's subtle. I don't know, actually. For me, it's always quite subtle. It might be different for different people. I don't know, how do you experience that?
No, not so much, but I'm curious whether it's the same thing in meditation, when you have pity or pretty.
Yeah.
Because that is quite intense.
Yeah. So Rich is asking whether it's similar to pretty or pity in meditation, which is sort of bliss, sort of one of the dhyanic states, sort of very kind of concentrated, positive states. I don't think it's similar to that. It feels more. It feels more to me like a sort of. I don't know. The image I have is like a toy train, like kind of shooting around the track, just a little bit more happily, rather than with something like pretty can be quite intense, can't it? And it might be a version of it might.
Because what I'm reading is, and this is just one person's opinion, maybe, but the pretty will start with a physical tingling sensation, maybe in your hands or your face.
Yeah.
And then that becomes the object. So you stop there because it's your breath, and you move to the pretty, and you try and suffuse your body with it. So you try. So that's what I've been doing, trying to do.
Right.
But that's quite an intense.
Yeah.
Physical experience.
So Rich is describing something he's read about the sensation of pretty or pity, where you experience it in your body and you transfer it. It becomes the object of your attention rather than say metta or the breath, and just just allow it to suffuse the body, and then at some point it will move on to the next dhyana. That's what he's doing tonight. Yeah, I'm thinking. Can I say it? I think. Little bugger, I'm thinking. Yeah, so he'll be coursing further into the dhyanas tonight, no doubt.
But I was asking because some people with Qigong, they talk about sort of moving the Qi.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that sounds slightly similar to working with pretty, but maybe.
Sounds different. He's what Richard said. That he's heard about people talk about Qigong where people are kind of moving the Qi around, and it's not something that I know we do in this form. We don't play around with the Qi. We allow the Qi to do its thing and go where it wills. And even with pretty, I think you just turn your attention to it. You become aware of it. You become mindful of it. Allow it to suffuse your attention. So it's not as if you're manipulating it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you need to take a break, do take a break. Don't overdo it. If you can test the edge, that's fine as well, but definitely don't overdo things. It's just quite much longer. We're holding metal much longer than we did on Broadstairs Beach.
It makes it easy if you're chatting, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier if you're talking, because then it's easy for me. My mind's occupied with something else. Okay, let's just check out. Maybe just rotate the shoulders a little bit. we got that. That's fine. Okay, and then just come into the resting position. So that's right hand just below the belly button, left hand on top. And then back into Uchi. Okay, my inclination is to do fire, even though it's quite hot already, but we'll go into fire. So fire is hands up around cheek height, palms facing outwards. Again, relaxing the shoulders, pelvis in a neutral place, just holding fire. So fire's the element associated with the heart.
Do you know how it went on Saturday?
So Saturday was the first day that we opened for classes. So we had 3 classes, 2 regulars, 1 beginners. So 1 downstairs, 2 upstairs. Open from 10 till 4. I think it went fine. I think it's you can book on those. You can book on this Saturday. You can also go online, the London Buddhist Centre online. And if you want booking to come in for those classes, they're not streamed. I think there are about 15 or 16 people in the shrine room. Teacher behind a plastic panel. I think you do have to wear face masks. But I think it went fine.
It's in here and downstairs.
It's here and breathing space, yeah. So I think the morning session is slightly longer. I think that's 10:30 till 12, and then the second session is 2:30 to 3:30. But yeah, I think it went fine.
Was that when you were in Broadstairs?
No, I was actually working. So I was in the office upstairs and up and down. So I was around for a little bit of it. It's a bit weird with face masks, but it was better than nothing for sure.
No tea break.
No tea break. No, just sort of in out. We had a one-way system that didn't quite work on Saturday. Hopefully, it'll work a bit better this week. And then the centre's open, the bookshop's open from 10 till 4. Could have done actually. Yeah, so just breathing into any tension, any stiffness, if you can feel it, just relaxing. And again, if it becomes too much, just come to rest, sit down if you need to. What's going on?
As soon as you said too much, if it gets too much, it's too much.
Rich is struggling. Good.
But it's interesting, then you go through it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's disappeared.
Yeah, it can be a bit hard, and then at some point it just becomes a bit more flow or something. Okay. Let's try and see if we can just hold the edge for another minute. Just give it another minute. Much for me as for you. It's the most difficult element. Well, I think it is. can maybe sink down a little bit further. Just make sure the knees don't go over the toes.
What about breathing? Should we always just breathe naturally?
Yeah, so just breathe naturally. So the breathing is, except with some of the movements, there would be coordinated breathing, but for this would be just natural. Excuse me.
So no sort of deep belly breathing?
No deep belly breathing, no. Not at this level anyway. I don't know about other levels. Okay, that's good.
He's asking, how was your solitary retreat?
Who's asking?
Paul.
Who?
Paul.
Paul. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a while ago. But Paul's asking how my solitary retreat was. Let's do a bit of arm swinging whilst I explain. So thumbs up. We just sort of. Melvin called this. I don't know what he called it. Something like psychedelic golf or something. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. So my solitary retreat was a few weeks ago now, and it was lovely. Like the weather was perfect, and it was just. It felt such a relief to turn my phone off, and not to have like sirens, going off every few minutes. And that just the simplicity of that was worth it in itself. I've really noticed turning the phone off how. I guess it's not the phone's fault, is it? But so many kind of bleeps and rings. It's almost like the phone's in charge. And then it's just like, oh, it's so good not to have reminders to make my next move in chess or to do my Polish lesson. Even benign things like that. It's such a relief not to have little reminders saying like Polish won't learn itself on its own or something. Whatever. It's like, oh, shut up. Anyway, so it was nice not to have that. So that was really good, and I read a little bit. Let's come back to Wu Chi whilst I witter on about my solitary. I read Vikram Seth's Golden Gate, which is a novel in verse, which was really good, and a bit of poetry, a bit of ryokan. Went for walks, saw some deer on the grounds. It was very lovely. A bit difficult times too, but not too bad. It was short, so I think that made it easier. 5 days. So I knew it was just really more of a break than an intense solitary. So I probably kind of relaxed or read a bit more than I normally would. But yeah, thanks for asking, Paul. When are you going on solitary, Paul? When's your next solitary? Okay, so we've done metal, we've done fire. Let's come into water. We haven't got that much longer, but just water. So hands by the side, palms facing down. Again, just making sure knees are bent and the pelvis in sort of neutral position.
Question from Adrian: is the bookstore open every day from 10 till 6, 10 till 4, or only on Saturdays?
Yes, Adrian wants to know whether the bookstore is open every day from 10 till 4. So the answer is it is open every day, but not from 10 till 4. So weekdays is 12 till 3 at the moment. It might change, but for the time being, it's 12 till 3 and Saturday 10 till 4. So yeah, you can come in at those times. What?
Someone's doing my job. Someone's posting. Posting the opening hours. Is that him?
Really? No, it'll be some. It might be Adriana.
This is London Buddhist Centre.
Really?
Unless I did it.
Oh, maybe.
Psychically.
No.
It must be Italy.
Oh, maybe. So Richard's a bit put out that somebody's doing his job. In fact, last time Richard was quite happy not doing Qigong, just when we lost sound, just typing out what we were doing.
Paul says it's Anna.
Huh?
Anna is posting.
Okay, all right, okay. Ah, yes. So I was going to take Elred of Revo's book on spiritual friendship. So Elred was I don't know when, maybe 13th century Cistercian abbot of Revo. He wrote this really good on spiritual friendship. But I did start it, and I got pretty fed up with it pretty quickly. Somehow it didn't quite. It was easier to read the Vikram Seth, and it didn't quite sort of chime with that. But we did do a study session with Padma Vajra on it when I came back, and it was brilliant. Well, Padma Vajra is amazing. If you can do anything with him, you really do. But he brought it to life, and so I didn't really look at it very much on solitary, but I have looked at it since in that study session, and it was great. That sort of definitely prompted me being more enthusiastic about this trip down to Broadstairs, just putting effort into friendships.
Paul also says, not sure about solitary yet.
Okay.
And then he says, Padma asks, Pamaloka is always good.
Yeah, Pamaloka is fantastic. Pamaloka is our men's retreat centre in Norfolk, and it's a great. If you don't feel ready for solitary, but you want something, actually, the LBC Pamaloka is just a bit different. It's the ordination retreat centre, but they also do open retreats as well. They've got a wonderful shrine room, like full of paintings. A friend of mine, actually, one of the guys I live with, just went on solitary for 2 weeks and came back a bit early. I think he found it like, well, he's very sociable and gregarious. I think he found it a bit. Well, that's my theory anyway. That it's.
I was about to ask you, do solitaries get hairy?
They can do, yeah. They can really. Yeah, I think so. I think it can become quite intense. It's sort of just you and your mind, or me and my mind, and lots of space. So I think it's good to pace it as well, and how long you want to go away for, and how much time I think in his case it was like this felt too much of his holiday, which I do understand. But it can be very nice as well. Sometimes it can be a mixture of very difficult sometimes and also very enjoyable. It's enjoyable to have so much space. Just have the whole day to do whatever you want to do.
Some order members here have done really long solitaries, 3 months.
Yeah, so Richard's saying some order members done long solitaries. So Jnana Varcha went away for 6 months, I think. David Mitra's done 9 months. He's away for a month at the moment. Yeah, so Bhadramati's done a 3-month solitary as well. So, but you kind of probably build up to that. They'll have done lots of solitaries. Okay, let's come into wood.
Can you imagine doing a 3-month?
3-month solitary. Yeah. I guess it depends on what other commitments I've got in terms of how much time I can take away. But I did 3 weeks, which I found good, and I thought actually another week would have been even better. Like Sangaraksha talks about every order member should take a month solitary every year, and I don't know why I'm smiling, but he was quite serious about it. But it's, that's not always feasible. But it'd be nice to be able to do a month a year, like in terms of having a very serious practice, and then use that. The time between retreats, I think, is very useful as well, even if it feels a bit prosaic, mundane, but kind of punctuating a year with a month retreat, and then that could feed quite a lot of the rest of the year as well. So this is wood. Wood is the element associated with the liver. So the hands are sort of facing the liver. Again, like space under the armpits, arms slightly rounded, fingers spread, but just relax. So Rich is a very good tech person. He's good at kind of keeping an eye on the messages as well as setting up and feeding me lines.
You haven't had a hitch today.
Oh yeah.
You had a few hitches.
Yeah, last time the sound went. So I think some people quite like the sound going. Okay, we're coming to the end really. We'll just give it another, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute, and then start to close down. Okay, so just shake out. And we'll just gather up the energy. So on the in-breath, gathering energy to the front, left hand top of the right, over the chest down to the lower dantian, just below the belly, gathering up to the left, back to the front, little break, and then to the right. And then just swimming around to the kidneys, giving the kidneys a little rub, maybe bounce, and breathing in. And again. And one more time. And then rubbing the hands together. Generating some heat. And massaging the neck. Good, and then a little swipe down. Great, so that's Qigong for the day. We'll be back on Thursday, yoga again tomorrow. Everything we do, just to say again, is done freely, so it's a free class, but do feel free as well to donate something if you can and would like to. We do appreciate that. Okay, have a lovely afternoon and hopefully see you soon.